Last time, we saw the conclusion to a very different Granola arc, and began a very different Buu arc as well. Now with Majin Buu on the planet, having also turned into Kid Buu, it seems like our group has a tough challenge ahead of them. But thankfully they have enough power to back themselves up. They should be able to pull through this pretty easily, right? We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 9 of What If Bardock Raised Kakarot. The group noticed that Buu actually got a little bit stronger when they removed those people from him. They have no clue what's happening here, or especially why he even transformed in the first place. They don't realize that the Grand Supreme Kai was kind of mellowing Buu out. Now they have the completely unrestrained Kid Buu, with him blindly using 100% of his power at all times, making the fight tougher, especially with how unpredictable he is. He's a completely savage fighter. It's like he fights with no rhyme or reason. The group is able to hold him off at least, and they actually feel like they might be able to defeat him. It's a little bit tough because he can regenerate from pretty much anything. They need to hit him with one attack that's so strong, it completely wipes him out. And if they were to combine all their powers together, it could be enough, but there is kind of an issue there. They're not all at their full power right now, especially not Kakarot, who is also the strongest of the group. But thankfully with everyone at Super Saiyan 2, it is just enough to hold him off and push him back at least, as they try and work out some sort of other plan to defeat him completely. But the energies that they sense getting closer, Vegeta and Nappa, they land on the planet, and just as they expected, it is those two Saiyans. They're not too sure why Vegeta and Nappa are here in the first place, but it's pretty good timing. Buu notices the ship, trying to launch a blast at it, but it's easily blocked by Bardock and Gine. The ship lands safely and Vegeta and Nappa jump off, asking what the hell's going on. Bardock says they came here at kind of a strange time, and Vegeta can see that they're clearly fighting some sort of strong foe. Vegeta sensed that power from so far away, wondering what it was. It's completely unhinged. But he smiles and tells Bardock he doesn't have to worry about it. He'll handle it from here. Bardock warns Vegeta he's gonna die if he goes up against this guy. He at least needs to work alongside them. Actually, yeah, that would be great. If Vegeta and Nappa worked alongside Bardock's family, that would easily kill Buu. But Vegeta says there's no need for that, as he powers up, transforming into what looks to be his own version of Super Saiyan 2. Bardock tells Vegeta to knock it off. Yeah, it's impressive that he got Super Saiyan 2 on his own, but that's still not going to be enough to defeat Buu, especially not alone. Just combine their powers together and that'll work. He can't get cocky here. This guy's a completely different animal than what they're used to fighting. Nappa also powers up too, and tells Bardock to trust them. They do really got this. They're not actually done powering up. What do they mean? The auras of each of them grow fiercer and fiercer. The electricity sparking around them, it becomes more frequent, more violent too. They each let out an ear-bursting scream, and Bardock watches from behind them. He doesn't see their faces, so he doesn't see much change in Nappa at first, but as he's looking at Vegeta, he notices that as his energy increases, his hair is growing longer. The rest of the family has a different view. They can see that their faces have completely changed. Nappa's mustache has turned into a longer beard, and each of them have lost their eyebrows. The power-up completes, and it's astonishing. They can't believe what they're seeing. What is this power, and how do they even achieve that? Nappa goes in first, acting as a distraction for Buu, but Vegeta reminds him to make this as quick as he can. Nappa hits him with a flurry of attacks that completely catches him off guard, then lifting two fingers up as he performs a giant storm, launching Buu high into the air. And Vegeta jumps up, almost looking like he just teleports up there with how fast he's moving. But he's not using instant transmission, that's just his pure speed. As Buu flies up, Vegeta flies up even faster, meeting him mid-air, taking the pose of a Gallic gun. Staring Buu in the eyes, he launches the Gallic gun right towards him point blank. The beam careens across the planet, illuminating everything purple, launching fire into space. And from the ground below, Nappa launches his own blast, opening his mouth as wide as possible and launching a beam from there. And Bardock tells the rest of them, try to use Force Spirit Fission if they can. And it kinda works, but then Buu is just completely destroyed. They're able to steal some energy from him, which even does go back to Kakarot and Raditz. But they're surprised it took that little to destroy him. Was that really the power of Vegeta and Nappa that did all that? They did help by weakening Buu a bit, but still, they can't believe what they just witnessed. And Bardock then sees, that was his vision. That wasn't Raditz that he saw in the vision. The Saiyan with long hair, it was Vegeta. The two power down, descending to the surface below. And Vegeta can see they look pretty confused. They must not know what Super Saiyan 3 is. There's a third level? And Vegeta and Nappa explain. Not too long ago, they unlocked Super Saiyan 2. But they knew there had to be something beyond that. They have sensed the rest of the family's power after all. And they heard about this form when Raditz told them over the scouter, after the encounter with Granola. And Vegeta and Nappa were looking for new ways to surpass their limits. If there's planets like Yardrat, there's gotta be other places too that they could train on. So they started doing their research, trying to look anywhere possible that they could find. And remember, they did take over an abandoned Frieza Force base. It wasn't completely destroyed, and there's a lot of data there, especially on the ships, that they were able to access. They found one particularly interesting planet, one where time flows pretty slowly. They didn't believe it was true, it sounds too good to be possible, but it actually was true. This is the same planet that Frieza went to train for his black form. As of the time of recording, we haven't seen anything about that planet, and I doubt we even will, but just know that yes, it is that same place. And that's why they were able to unlock Super Saiyan 3 so quickly. Sure, in this normal time, it was pretty quick, but in their time, they've actually trained for a few years to unlock this. Although, they realize that Super Saiyan 3 works better in places where time doesn't flow, or doesn't flow as quickly as it does here. Goku actually explained this is how it worked in the main story, and Vegeta and Nappa came to realize that pretty quickly, which is exactly why they wanted to finish this fight so fast. Because they knew in a place with a normal passage of time, like Yardrat for example, the form wasn't going to last as long. But more importantly, this shows that they're on top again. They've surpassed the others in pure strength, unlocking this brand new power that they don't even know about. They actually came here for the sole purpose of showing them this power, and having Boo here to display it against was a perfect opportunity. And amidst their explanation, they hear other voices butt in. Those two people that they ripped out of Boo wake up, and everyone's on guard, thinking that they might be enemies. But one of them says his name. He's the Grand Supreme Kai. They're not too sure of who these two are, but they begin explaining. They've been unconscious for millennia, having been trapped inside of Boo so long ago. They can't believe it's actually over, and it seems like they're way too far away from where they originally came from, the Sacred World of Kais. They actually can't believe that they were able to be separated from Boo. But Bardock explains Force Spirit Fission's able to do that. Even with people that have been long fused away, it seems like he's able to rip them apart. And then out of nowhere, two other people teleport in that also look similar to these other two Kais, and their jaws immediately drop. Are they really seeing what they think they're seeing? These two introduce themselves, Shin and Kibito, the current Supreme Kai and his attendant. It's unfortunate for the Grand Supreme Kai to learn that the other Kais are dead, but the East and South Supreme Kai survived at least. With the East Supreme Kai, Shin being the one to take the reins of everything. Hopefully he's been doing a good job. Yeah, about that. Well, looks like they have to catch up on their own time. The Grand Supreme Kai thanks these Saiyans for helping, and Shin is surprised that it's Saiyans that were responsible for this. So they freed the Kais and killed Boo, and it seems like they're actually good people. He hasn't really kept up with the Saiyans in a while. He knows they were all killed decades ago by Frieza, but he's amazed to see that some are still alive and are this powerful, and this good. The Grand Supreme Kai wants to express some sort of gratitude. He could show them probably a greater power. How about that? They all seem to be worthy warriors, and he would love to train one of them. But Vegeta and Nappa decline. They're glad of their power for now, and are more focused on trying to improve this in whatever way possible. Bardock and Gine actually decide they want to stay here. It's been a little too hectic recently, and they'd rather just live a simple life on Yardrat like they have been living. They'll work on their own power if needed. So that leaves their kids. Kakarot and Ruda actually decide they really do want to go to the Sacred World of Kai because this sounds interesting. Learning about magic and such, that could be really cool. Especially training with someone like that, it sounds like it's a great opportunity for them. Raditz does consider it, but instead, he decides to go back with Vegeta and Nappa. It's been a while since they worked together, and they did make a pretty good crew. And they should be happy because now Raditz will be the weakest one in the crew once again. But he promises he will catch up to them and get Super Saiyan 3 for himself as well. And that settles it. Everyone's now going to go down their own paths. Raditz joins Vegeta's crew once more, hoping to learn Super Saiyan 3, but not by going on that planet that makes time flow a lot more slowly. Bardock and Gine are going to stay here on Yardrat, and Bardock does have his own plans of what to do. As for Kakarot and Ruda, they're going to go train with the Kais now. Excited to explore this brand new figurative and literal world of power. Now we enter a brief passage of time. As for Bardock, his plan was to find someone that they met recently. Well, someone that his family met recently, is someone that Bardock has actually known for a while. He seeks out Granola again. He still does seem to have that great power that he got from the Dragon Balls, and he's able to bring Granola back to Yardrat. He remembers back to the wish that Manito seemingly made when he was back on Planet Cereal. The one about his kids thriving or something. He doesn't exactly remember what it was, but he guesses it makes sense that Granola was able to wish for something that great as well. But Granola is excited to grow stronger. He wants to make use of this power, and especially make it up to everyone else. He did promise Kakarot a good fight after all, so he wants to grow stronger for that. And strangely enough, he starts training here on Yardrat, wanting to learn all these new abilities, and becoming Bardock's student in a way, which is a weird turn of events that he didn't really expect. Bardock saved him so long ago as a kid, and now Bardock's training him. This could be a fun pastime, especially if there's any threats in the future to Planet Cereal. He does want to be able to use his power for good at least, trying to defend it somehow. But a new character enters the story. Well, someone new to this tale at least, but someone who's been around for a while. Beerus finally awakens. Wondering about where he could find this new rival, a Super Saiyan God or something he thinks it is. Whis thankfully tells him that there's a handful of Saiyans left. Some of them are actually on the Sacred World of Kais right now. Wait, some of them are trading with the Kais? That sounds like a Super Saiyan God to him. I mean, they're trading with gods, so they probably have some sort of godly abilities as well. And he's definitely interested to find out, so immediately he heads over there. And there he comes across two Saiyans. They actually seem to be siblings. And even more surprising, the South Supreme Kai and Grand Supreme Kai are back. And then he notices another Kai, the Elder Kai. He's out of the Z-Sword. Considering he was the one who sealed Elder Kai, he kind of wants to know what happened here. So those two Saiyans have actually been training here for a while, and at one point they did pull the Z-Sword, and they accidentally broke it. And Beerus hears about how the other two Kais came to be as well. They're actually the ones who invite these two Saiyans here. So from what Beerus hears, these two seem pretty powerful, and he wants to hear about that Super Saiyan God form. And they actually have no clue what that is. They know what Super Saiyan is, they also know what Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 are. But they don't actually have some sort of Super Saiyan God form, if that's what that even is. It could be a person, it could be something else, they don't know. And the Grand Supreme Kai is about to butt in, but then Beerus says that he wants to fight these two, just to see what their current power is. So they power up, but they don't physically transform. Their hair and eyes get a little bit more defined, but that's really it. They don't look too much different, they just have a fierce white aura surrounding them. They say they can thank the Elder Kai for this. This is their new peak of power, the ultimate form. When they freed him, he was able to unlock their potential, allowing them to use all their power just by transforming into whatever this is. And Beerus is pretty shocked to see, even though they haven't physically changed much, their strength has definitely increased a lot, but it isn't really too much compared to his at least. It definitely is a noticeable increase though, and he wonders how that'll work for them in the future. But for now, he does want to learn about the Super Saiyan God because maybe it's even better than that. And the Grand Supreme Kai finally steps in. Beerus was too hasty in fighting them. He actually does know about the Super Saiyan God, and gives info about what he knows about it. The Grand Supreme Kai has spent his time back trying to catch up on everything, trying to learn as much about the universe as he could, mainly to learn about what he's missed, and he had come across the Namekian Book of Legends, learning about the Super Saiyan God as well. From what he remembers, the ritual needs 5 Saiyans to channel their energy into 1 Saiyan. And Kakarot says that's not going to be too hard, they know more than enough Saiyans for that. And they definitely seem righteous in his mind, and they are all Super Saiyans too, so that should make it even easier. And those Saiyans gather on the planet. It's very easy because, as for Bardock and Gine, they're able to teleport in, also with Granola, who's just there for the show essentially. And Raditz teleports in with 3 other Saiyans, Vegeta, Nappa, and someone who looks like a shorter Vegeta. Is that another Saiyan that they didn't know about? And Vegeta introduces them. This is his brother Tarble. With so much free time on their hands, he finally sought out his brother, trying to get him part of his new crew. Although it's kind of a weird crew because they're not really doing too much of anything. They're not going to be pillaging things like before, obviously. And it's really just a group that hangs out together, pretty much. Growing as strong as they can, with Vegeta also wanting his brother to partake in that. But that's kind of besides the point. He wonders why they were called here. And then he sees Beerus and starts trembling in fear as he, Vegeta, and Nappa all kneel down. Bardock actually has kind of heard of Beerus, but has never seen him in person. Vegeta actually has seen him, and Nappa and Raditz know a little bit more about him because they were close with Vegeta. But everyone's pretty terrified by him once they learn more about him. Although it doesn't really matter too much because he's happy. They got more than enough Saiyans here for the ritual. So, the ritual is done. And Beerus wants it to be between Kakarot and Ruda. One of them can become the Super Saiyan God. So the two have to settle this somehow. Well, honestly, neither of them really likes the idea of just being handed that sort of power because it wouldn't really be theirs. But it still does sound cool too. So the two settle it with a game of rock, paper, scissors. Kakarot wins, meaning he gets the ritual and gets to get this great power. The ritual is done and it works the first try, with Kakarot ascending into the air, with his hair and tail turning red, as he transforms into the first Super Saiyan God. The Kais look on with amazement, and Beerus is delighted beyond belief. That's definitely what he was looking for. This is his rival, there's no question about it. A fight ensues between the two of them, and even with Kakarot's great power, of course he isn't going to surpass Beerus here, but he does give Beerus a good enough fight to keep him interested. He definitely sees potential with this, especially with the great power that the Saiyan had beforehand. He could probably do even greater things. Not to mention Ruda too, that other Saiyan that he was fighting before. He thinks Kakarot's sister could do just as well with this, and who knows, maybe there could be even more Super Saiyan Gods as well. The best part is, this planet is the perfect place to fight, because the sacred world of Kais is so durable and so large that they're able to fight to their heart's content. The only better place would be space, but Kakarot can't go out there obviously. Either way, Beerus is pleased, and he says this isn't the last they'll see of him. He'll be back soon enough, and he wants Kakarot to grow even stronger. But not just that. This does seem like an interesting group. They basically did bring 3 Kais back after all too. They defeated Frieza, they defeated Cooler, they defeated one of the greatest evils in the universe, Majin Buu. And now, it's this. There definitely is a bright future ahead of them, and more importantly, a bright future ahead for Universe 7 as a whole. The Kais are back, Beerus is awakened, and he's more content than ever seeing all these rivals. As he and Whis head back to their planet, Beerus is getting pretty excited. And this is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part? Or what's going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps with the channel and shows me you want to see more like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.